What's up? I am headed fishing today, so I'm in a very good mood. It's going to be a gorgeous day. It's going to be like 68 for the high today. Probably won't be out there when it reaches that temperature. We got to go to work at about 12:15. We'll have to be on the trailer by then, but in that little bit of time that we got about 4.5 hours to do some work. I got nothing but bait cast rods and reels on the deck. Power fishing all day. Going to get in some stained water. We've had a warming trend the last few days. I know that the fish are going to be active, so this is the first good stretch of warm weather we've had in several weeks. We had a really early ice off this year, but we've kind of been at a setback for the last few weeks. Things are kind of right on track now for a normal spring progression. You know, the smallmouth have started to move into the backwaters. Largemouth are just kind of starting to wake up and start to get positioned on laydowns and things like that, like they typically do in the month of April. So I'm expecting a classic Mississippi River pre-spawn spring day today, and I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to show you the footage, so stay tuned. Thanks. Got it figured out now. I just got to slow down a little bit. I don't mind a good jig bite, but I was hoping to catch him reeling today. That ain't gonna happen. It'll happen when I'm at work, of course. The bad thing about fishing mornings in the spring, everybody blasts them while you're at work. In the afternoon, when it's warm and sunny, a little bit better fish. Well, we're all wrapped up for the day. Headed to work right now, which really sucks. It's about 70 degrees out right now, and it's amazing. But it really didn't start getting warm until about an hour ago. So just never really connected with a good bite. Fish were kind of in a lull all morning long. The only bites I did get were on a jig, and I was fishing it around trees super slow. You'll see that in the video, obviously. You guys just got done watching. I had to really dead stick a jig in there and barely move it for them to pick it up and find it. So unfortunately, that's just the curse of working afternoons. You got to fish mornings, and this time of year you want to be fishing afternoons. So hopefully this weekend we'll be able to get out and get on some big ones in the sunshine. Until then, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Cade Laufenberg Fishing here. I'm going to try to bring you guys semi-weekly reports on the Mississippi River, Pool 7, 8, 9 going forward. I'm just going to try to revamp this channel and get a little more content out there to you, the people that I care about, and I appreciate you guys following me. I try to keep this all just totally legit, just fishing information, no BS. I'm going to tell you when I catch them on a bait that I'm sponsored by, but I'm also going to tell you when I'm catching them on baits not sponsored by. That's just the way I operate. I operate on credibility, so stay tuned. We're headed to the Mississippi River today. We got an off limits period coming up. I'm fishing the Bassmaster Bass Nation qualifier out of La Crosse, and the off limits starts on April 20th. So today's April 16th. Got a few more days to be out there looking around, fishing a little bit. we're just coming off the back end of a really good warming trend. It got up in the 70s multiple days in a row, and today is kind of a cold front day. The wind's really blowing, starting out blowing from the south. It's going to switch over to the north at some point here this afternoon, and this is what I really look forward to in the spring, is when we get the water warms up and then we get a cold spell, cool the water back down, and that's when it feels like the fishing really takes off. The fish kind of get up shallow and sun themselves, and then when you get that cold front, they get stacked up on points and ledges and things like that. So I'm looking for the next couple days to be really good, especially for largemouth fishing. This weekend was really just not great for me. I know some guys really cracked them, but I didn't have a great day out on the water on Sunday, so not much to show you there. But I look forward to this day, and I hope I have some good fish catches and some good information to share with you, so stay tuned. Won't be long and you'll be watching me catch some big bass. What's up? Little midday report for you. Sitting in my truck right now. Got chased off the water by some lightning. Little storm blowing through. Just wrapping up, so I'm about to head back out there right now. But decent little start. I started on one spot. Got some history on this place, and I knew there were some fish there. So just wanted to get some fish in the boat and build some confidence after a tough weekend on the water. Got a couple bites on a thunder cricket. They weren't eating it great, so I picked up a jig, caught a couple on that. But I noticed, you know, watching my forward-facing sonar, I could see those fish, when they bit the jig, they bit it on the fall, like the initial fall. So that told me that those fish were kind of feeding up in the water column a little bit. I picked up a jerk bait, and that ended up being the best bait so far this morning. So caught a few decent ones, one, you know, 3 3/4 pounds, and a couple others around 3, a couple 2.5 pounders too. So decent start. I'm okay with that, but I need to find some big ones. So we're gonna get back out here and see what we can do for the next couple hours before work. So stay tuned. GoPro, stop recording. Almost 4. Beat up tail. I don't know what the deal is with that. They ain't spawning yet, but that was a good bite. Okay. Nice one. that wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Just to dig in a little bit deeper on what's been going on out here on the river lately. You know, the beginning of the video, you saw some footage of me early last week on the very beginning of this warming trend that we've just gone through. And it was just a little too early. You know, the first couple days of the warming trend, we still had nights getting down in the low 30s, upper 30s, low 30s. So it was still pretty cold out there by the time I would get to the water, and it wasn't getting warm enough, like fast enough. By the time I had to go to work, you know, the bite hadn't really ignited yet, and everybody that I know on social media was catching the crap out of them in the afternoon when they got off work. And so it just wasn't really jiving well for me on the largemouth front of things. You know, I geared up that first day of the report. I geared up to go catch them on a spinnerbait and a crankbait, big swim baits and stuff like that, fishing laydowns. I was going to have a true power fishing day, but it just didn't materialize because the water temperature was in the mid 40s, and it just wasn't right, you know. Fast forward to later that week, it got warm. The water temperatures really got warm. Things responded. The fishing didn't really come along the way I thought it would. There was a lot of big fish showing up on stupid community, like just, you know, riprap type stuff. And some guys were catching some big ones, but I didn't want to fish that way. I didn't want to just go fish community rock piles, you know, shoreline stuff. So I kind of avoided that, and I paid the price. I only caught, you know, 15 pounds on the nicest day of the warming trend. Fast forward to the final day of this report, I caught them a little bit. I caught, you know, maybe 15.5 pounds or so of largemouth, and that was actually the beginning of this cooling trend that we're now dealing with at the end of this report cycle. So it rained that day. It was cloudy, a little breezy. It ended up getting really windy towards the very end of my day. Luckily, I got off the water before it got too crazy. But you know, when the water temperature gets really warm like that in the springtime, the fish tend to respond in a way where they're going shallow, they're spreading out, and they're seeking that sunshine. They want to warm up, they want to warm their bellies, they want to get their eggs developed up to where they want to be. But then when you get a cold front, you know, this is really the first major warming trend of the season. So those fish have been kind of in a limbo stage from wintering into springtime transition. And that's when they go shallow on that first warming trend and just kind of spread out. You can catch some big fish, super skinny water. But now that we've had this little bit of a colder front, that tends to position the fish better, and it positions them in a more stable pre-spawn pattern. So it was starting to develop. I guarantee you, if I were to go back out there, you know, that was a few days ago already, since I made that video that you just watched, to the point where I'm recording this segment now, it's been a few days. So I guarantee if I were to go back out there right now, the bite would be even better on that same stuff, because I was fishing a lot of offshore grass and offshore ledges where those fish tend to funnel to when you get these cooler fronts come through. But I'm looking forward to the next couple weeks here. This is the prime time to catch big bags on the river. So I hope that you're following. If you're not, hit that like button, subscribe. I'm looking to grow this channel. I'm looking to grow my YouTube channel, and I'm not trying to get famous or rich from it, but it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I finally have the tools to be able to do it and expand on it. So it's going to benefit my sponsors greatly. You know, Strike King and Lose, AFCO. AFCO's been with me a long time now, but Strike King and Lose have been on board in a limited fashion the last couple years. This year it's kind of expanding on that end, so I really want to show out and do a good job for these guys. So you supporting me is also supporting them, and I really appreciate it if you follow along. Stay tuned. We're going to make this a weekly thing. I'm going to be putting out reports every week, so it pays off to pay attention. So all right guys, thanks, and we'll see you next time.